Miss Sapp, I'm going to pause you for just one moment. We have lost one of our committee members.
Okay.
We're going to contact that person. Oh, there they are in the waiting room. They just must have got kicked out. So give us 1 second for him to get back in. And then we are live streaming, but I'll let you know when he is. Steve, are you able to unmute and check your mic one more time?
Yep, all good.
Perfect. We can hear you. Thank you. All right, Miss Sapp, I'll turn it over to you. We are live streaming.
Thank you for joining us today for the District Library Book Objection Committee meeting. The purpose of today's meeting is to review an objection to the book titled 33 Snowfish by Adam Rapp. I'm Dawn Sapp, Associate Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction. Our superintendent, Mr. Forson, has designated me as chair of the committee, and I'll be facilitating today's meeting. School-based and district staff, as well as parent and community volunteers, are invited to participate on each committee. Today's meeting will result in a recommendation that will be forwarded to Mr. Forson, St. Johns County School District Superintendent. This committee meeting is public record and therefore subject to sunshine law. It is being live streamed for public viewing. Committee members are not required to have their camera on during the meeting. We're committed to civility and decorum. Please assist us in maintaining a constructive meeting environment by remaining respectful of each participant during the meeting and afterwards. Additional discussion of the objecting party or committee members outside of the meeting is discouraged. Disparaging comments are contrary to district expectations regarding character and civility. Committee members received several resources in advance of the meeting. The resources included the objecting party's request for reconsideration, a copy of the book, Florida statutes, Florida Department of Education guidance for library media services, professional source reviews, St. Johns County School Board rules, the Library Bill of Rights, and a school library media material evaluation checklist. The process for today is as follows. First, the objecting party will have the opportunity to address the committee. They will provide any information they deem compelling or new regarding their request. Next, the committee will have a discussion utilizing the school library media material evaluation checklist. Finally, the decision by majority vote will determine a recommendation for Superintendent Forson. There are two options: retain the book for a designated level or remove the book from all St. Johns County School District libraries. For our meeting today, both agreeable and opposing viewpoints are welcome. Are there any questions before we begin? Okay, seeing no hands. Jean Moore is the objecting party for 33 Snowfish. Ms. Moore, this is your time to address the committee. You have up to 5 minutes to share your objection.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to share my thoughts. My objections to this book are it contains excessive and frequent profanity and derogatory terms, sexual activities including child prostitution, and hate including racism. The book itself does not contain egregious illegal content, but that should not be the only consideration when deciding appropriate reading material for school libraries. My opinion about the story itself doesn't matter. What matters is what lies within the content. Excessive use of profanity. The word shit occurs frequently and is used in regular speech by the main characters. The same with the word nigger. It's used throughout the book by the main characters and as regular part of speech and as a racial slur. I strongly believe that if the author's use of profanity and other foul language is necessary for character development or to show some sort of realism of the setting, is perhaps for more mature audiences outside of school. I've said this quite a few times in these meetings. Our culture has seriously lost its way. It's now a foregone conclusion that profanity, obscenity, and other adult content does not belong in front of children, let alone in schools, and that adult mature content is for adults. This is a perfect example. When he woke up, his nose twitched a little and he just laid there and stared at me. "What you doing, Jimster?" I didn't say nothing back. I just took my pants down and climbed up in his bed. His mattress is real high off the floor, so you kind of have to jump up in it. After I got up in the bed, I turned away from him and got on my hands and knees like a dog. I didn't notice it when I walked in the room, but on the wall across from his bed, there was a picture of this clown with balloons in his cheeks. The clown had this upside down smile and he looked sad and happy at the same time. I just stared at the picture and waited for Sheldon to do what I knew he was going to do. Sheldon went, Jimster, again? But I just stayed there like that for a minute. I just stayed there all doggy style and naked with my ass up in the air. Sheldon went, you asleep, Jimster? I just went, go ahead, Sheldon, go on and do me. Then I closed my eyes tight and held my breath because I knew he had his big nigger dick out and I knew it was all long and scabby. And I knew it had the hook on the end of it, like Bob Motley talked about. And I just knew that shit was going to hurt when he stuck it in me and took my buns too. It didn't matter how much hair grease or motor oil he used, but I didn't care. I just said it again. I went, go on and fuck me. What in the name of heaven makes anyone think this is okay for school? Would you want this image on a movie or TV screen in front of your child? A naked child ready for anal sex talking about go on and fuck me with your long, scabby nigger dick? I would sincerely hope that answer is no. So why would you want to put that image in a child's head via graphic descriptive language? Isn't that one of the wonderful things about reading? Our minds are able to create imagery from words. When kids are at school, the school stands in for parents to keep kids safe, physically, emotionally, psychologically, etc. The digital catalog does not provide enough information for parents to safeguard their students while they're browsing the shelves at school. The opt-out solution does not work. The school district needs to make better choices when selecting titles. Not every book ever written belongs in a school library, in spite of what the ALA Library Bill of Rights might imply. The boundaries around sexual content, profanity, obscenity, and other adult content in a public school library needs to be clearer in our district. The school district is relying heavily on the Florida statutes and the recent House Bill 1069 for you as committee members to make decisions. A book does not need to be illegal for it to be inappropriate for schools. The checklist alone does not determine appropriateness. I sincerely hope this committee approaches the content with common sense, a moral compass, and courage to stand up for childhood innocence and parental rights. Parents alone determine if they want their child to have access to adult content, not the child and not the school district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. Committee members, we will now refer to the school library media material evaluation form for our discussion. As a reminder, Florida statute states that any materials used in a classroom, made available in a school or classroom library, or included on a reading list may be objected to for 4 specific reasons. Reason number 1, the material is pornographic or prohibited under section 847.012 of Florida statute. The material must be removed if the majority of the committee agrees with an objecting party that the material is pornographic or prohibited. For the remaining 3 reasons, the committee will determine if there's an appropriate grade level or if the material should be removed. Reason number 2, the material depicts or describes sexual conduct as defined in statute 847.001(19). Reason number 3, the material is not suited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material. Reason number 4, the material is inappropriate for the grade level and age group for which the material is used. Keep in mind that our final task on the form is to make a recommendation to Superintendent Forson. There are 2 options: retain the book for a designated level or remove the book from all St. Johns County libraries, school district libraries. Again, statute is clear that we must recommend to remove the title if a majority of the committee determines there is a violation of question 4 on the checklist. The floor will be open to discussion and each committee member will have the opportunity to share. Comments will be summarized to provide an overall committee response for each question. Please remember to raise your hand to provide a comment. For our meeting today, both agreeable and opposing viewpoints are welcome. We will now go through the checklist together. I will read each question, ask if anyone has a comment, and then we will vote. Are there any questions before we begin? Okay, question number 1 on the checklist asks or wants all of us to make sure that we know what the objecting party's challenge is to the material. So it says, the objecting party's challenge of the material cites that And we will lift that directly from the formal objection that Ms. Moore submitted. And her grounds for objection were reasons number 2, 3, and 4. So those reasons being the material depicts or describes sexual conduct, the material is not suited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material, and the material is inappropriate for the grade level and age group for which it is being used. And then she also provided an attached PDF. So we'll make sure that that is captured for number 1. For number 2, number 2 and 3 are both just an opportunity for Mr. Forson to know to what degree the committee reviewed the materials. So for question number 2, it's asking if you reviewed specific pages that were cited by the objecting party. So if you did review the pages that were cited by the objecting party, you would vote yes. If you did not review those specific pages, you'd vote no.
We're just waiting for one more vote for question number 2.
Again, yep, there we go.
All right, Ms. Sapp, for question number 2, we have 8 yes votes. You may now remove your vote.
Thank you. Similar line of thought for question number 3. Professional and/or crowdsource reviews were considered. If you did read over those professional and/or crowdsource reviews, please vote yes. If you did not, please vote no.
Ms. Sapp, for question 3, we have 8 yes votes. You may now remove your vote.
Okay, for the remaining questions, I'll read the question and ask for any comments. If you have a comment, you'll raise your hand. And then following comments, we will vote. So for question number 4, is the material pornographic or prohibited under Florida Statute 847.012? Are there any comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll vote. Is the material pornographic or prohibited under Florida Statute 847.012?
We are waiting for 3 more votes. Ms. Sapp, for question 4, we have 4 yes votes and 4 no votes.
Thank you.
You may now remove your vote.
Move on to question number 5. Does the material depict or describe sexual conduct defined in Florida Statute 847.001, paren 19? Are there any comments? Seeing no hands, we'll go ahead and vote. Does the material depict or describe sexual conduct defined in Florida Statute 847.001, paren 19?
Ms. Sapp, for question 5, we have 5 yes votes and 3 no votes. You may now remove your vote.
Question number 6. Is the material unsuited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material presented? Raise your hand if you have a comment. Seeing no hands, we'll vote. Is the material unsuited to student needs and their ability to comprehend the material presented?
Ms. Sapp, for question 6, we have 4 yes votes and 4 no votes. You may now remove your vote.
For question number 7, Ms. Sikowski, could you please tell us where is this material currently available in our libraries?
It's currently available in the high school collections, grades 9 through 12.
Okay, thank you. So just keeping that in mind, that it's currently available for grades 9 through 12. So question 7 says, is the material inappropriate for the grade level and age group for which the material is used? Are there any comments? No hands. So go ahead and vote. Is the material inappropriate for the grade level and age group for which the material is used?
Ms. Sapp, we have 4 yes votes and 4 no votes for question 7. You may now remove your vote.
Okay, we're now at the point of making a recommendation to the superintendent. We have seen a split vote on several of these, of course. So we do have to start somewhere, and just to clarify for everyone, we haven't really had a majority that indicated we should we have to make a recommendation to Mr. Forson to remove the material, but we do see a split vote. So the material is currently available for grades 9 and up. I'm asking if there is any discussion on whether we should start there with a vote on 9 and up, or if we'd like to start somewhere different. Is there any discussion? Okay, so we will vote on the material is appropriate for grades 9 and up. If you agree, you'll vote yes. If you disagree, you'll vote no. The material is appropriate for grades 9 and up. This would be our recommendation to Mr. Forson.
Ms. Sapp, we have 5 yes votes and 3 no votes for the recommendation of appropriate for grades 9 and up. You may now remove your vote.
Okay, so our recommendation to Mr. Forson will be, because the majority of the committee voted in favor, that the material will remain available for grades 9 and up. Are there any closing comments from anyone from the committee that you'd like included with the recommendation? Okay, well, thank you very much to all of the committee members for your participation today. There are 2 final action steps to conclude our work. Number 1, your acknowledgement as a participant on the committee is needed on the recommendation to Mr. Forson. The recommendation, which includes notes from today's discussion, will be emailed to you. You may acknowledge participation by responding with an email, or you may review and sign the documents in person at our Media Services office at 10 Hildreth in St. Augustine. Second thing we need you to do is to return your book and any notes from your work to prepare for the meeting to the location where you picked up your book. We'd like you to try to make sure you finish both of these tasks by the end of this week. That would help us out a lot. And given that, are there any questions before we close the meeting? This concludes the meeting. Thank you very much.